So let's discuss our project for the Marketing 450 class this summer. As you recall, each class is comparable to a full week of school. So we have 2 weeks to complete this project or 10 weeks during a regular semester. So we do need to stay focused and get started on this project this week. So the project revolves around a local, the local Chicken Shack restaurants in the Las Vegas Valley. The owners were told that you are a product and branding expert, and they want you to advise them about building their sales, brand equity, and positioning for their restaurants. Specifically, they want you to explore the development of a customer winning menu that will excite customers and create a reason to buy for new and existing customers. The goal is to create excitement for employees and customers alike. Basically, they want you to come in and overhaul their product offerings to help jumpstart their sales. They are open to any alternatives, but they've been talking to Jack Shabrowski about how McDonald's, Subways, and others are using product management techniques to bump their sales and find new customers. And they would like you to do that for them. The Chicken Shack is a small chicken franchise restaurant chain. Be careful when you're doing research on the Chicken Shack because there are a number of Chicken Shack branded franchises that are unrelated to each other. And of course, that is creating some confusion for customers. The Chicken Shack is primarily a West Coast franchise. Each restaurant has a clean, simple setup with in-store dining and a large takeout business. Right now, some of their stores are using a kiosk ordering system that helps to track customers, but it really isn't set up to do any active database marketing or to be able to identify who their best and worst customers are. Some information that you'll need to know about the Chicken Shack includes that this particular group owns 6 of the 9 Chicken Shack stores in Clark County. Their total sales for all 6 stores is approximately $8,300,000 annually. The net profit is currently around 18%. The average check is around $27. They have no current data on their best customers or any way to communicate with them. They do have, once again, that kiosk ordering system at their stores, but they can't calculate repeat purchases versus new customers. Their food costs are approximately 25% of sales, not including labor, with chicken fingers, wings, and sandwiches having the lowest margins, obviously, and drinks, fries, and other things like that having the highest margin. The Chicken Shack, by the way, is making money. So they're looking for new ideas, but they need to have those ideas justified with data that shows the owners that the changes will be highly successful. They do not want any crazy ideas. What they want are ideas that make sense given their existing business and the fact that they are the Chicken Shack. Some general information about the Chicken Shack is that the Chicken Shack franchise group owns 6 of 9 stores in Clark County. Their total sales for all 6 stores is approximately $8.3 million annually. Their total profits is around 18%. Their average check is around $27. They have no current data on their best customers or any way to communicate with them. They do have a kiosk ordering system at their stores, but they can't calculate repeat purchases versus new customers. Their food costs are approximately 25% of sales, not including labor, with goods like chicken fingers, wings, and sandwiches having the lowest margin, while drinks, fries, and other ancillary goods having the highest margins. Now, for us to do this project, we're going to be doing it individually rather than in groups so that you can do this anytime that you would like from anywhere that you would like. And this allows you plenty of freedom then in terms of how to make this happen. First thing, of course, that we're going to have is a product situation analysis. And we've been going over this information about a product situation analysis over the last week. First, we're going to do an industry analysis, the size and the growth of the fast food business in general, and specifically the fast food chicken restaurant business. I have put some information for you to do this in the project files. Just look in the project files and hunt around a little bit, and you will see the files that will help you do the industry analysis. Of course, we're going to be doing a macro analysis. Now, while the macro analysis looks like a large outline here, it really isn't. And remember, you've already looked at the macro analysis information in a set of lectures last week. What we are looking for are any social issues, economic issues, political issues, technological issues, or legal or regulatory issues that might impact the chicken restaurant business or the general fast food industry. And then we also want to make a note in here about how that will impact the chicken shack itself. Once again, we are going to be looking at identifying 3 to 4 macro environmental issues that are going to potentially influence how successful the chicken shack restaurant will be over the next 3 to 4 years. We're also going to have to do some internal work. And of course, this is the largest part of the situation analysis. We're going to need chicken shack information like total sales, sales per store, daily sales per store, average check, number of daily orders, all those sorts of things. We're going to need some information about their facilities, and that is the cooking prep items to determine what menu items they might be able to add. I have some of those listed here. They do have fryers, they have a flat top grill, and they have a regular char style grill. They have a microwave, they have refrigerators and freezers, and I'll double check with them to see what other kinds of food preparation things that they have, so that we have a very good understanding of what is possible in terms of things being added to their menu without any real large additional cost. We are going to need to have you find their current menu with prices, and I would recommend that you do that relatively quickly. Any special deals or offers that they have, if they have a signature menu item, we want to find out what that is. We're going to want to try to find out, based on the information that we can find online, their current positioning, and how they, so their positioning statement, or anything like that, and the tools that they use to create that position. And want you to be specific. What is their current reason to buy? We want you to identify current branding items, that is, their current branding efforts and tools used to create those brands, trade dress, logo, taglines, mascots, spokesperson or spokespersons, etc. And then I also would recommend that you go up and look at their online reviews and then summarize what their online reviews look like, so that we know what we're working with here. Okay, and I would probably start this right away. This might be the first thing that I would do, would be to chase some of this information down. We're going to need to know about their customers, who the Chicken Shack's customers are, and I have managed to find some of that information, and I once again am going to put that in the project files, and so that you will be able to go to the project files and get some help on identifying who the Chicken Shack's current customers are. We're going to need to know something about their competitors. Now, you recall that I was smart enough last week to give you an assignment to identify Cane's, the Raising Cane's customers. And of course, one of Chicken Shack's very direct competitors is Cane's. They have a menu with a lot of overlap in it. And for those and so we want you to identify the 4 most direct competitors for the Chicken Shack. And then for those 4 direct competitors, we're going to need to know what their menu items are and their prices. And this needs to be complete so we understand what we are working against in terms of competition. We need to identify any current positioning, the positioning statement or the position that these companies are trying to establish and the tools that they're used to create that position. In many cases, this will have to do with some branding, but it will also have to do with their particular product mix and prices and any other marketing that they might have out there. We're going to be also want to identify any current branding that those companies are doing. That is, the same as we did for the Chicken Shack. We're going to want to know trade dress, logo, taglines, mascots, spokespersons, etc. What does their advertising look like? What kind of branding work are they doing? And then, of course, we want to look at their reviews, just like we did for the Chicken Shack. So we want to do this for 4 of their most direct competitors. And so we're going to ask you to do the same thing that you did for Raising Cane's, but we're going to do it for the Chicken Shack. However, I would suspect that it is relatively similar. Then we're going to identify the Chicken Shack SMART goals. I have some of those listed here specifically, and some of these listed here more generally. Their sales goals. They want to increase their sales by 100% over the next 4 years. They want to increase the average check by 10% a year, and of course, they want to increase the number of checks. They didn't give us a specific number, but it's going to be commiserate with the idea of getting 100% more sales over the next 4 years. They also have goals of improving brand equity. And of course, brand equity includes brand loyalty, brand awareness, perceived quality, positive associations, and other assets. They have goals of customer acquisition and customer retention. They obviously want to acquire a number of new customers, and of course, they want to retain more current customers and get more repeat business. They have goals in terms of product offerings. They want to have 5 to 10 new products each year, or at least try 5 to 10 new products per year. And they want 50% of their sales over time to come from new product offerings. Then we get to their product strategy and plan. And so under this, we want to cover their overall product strategy. And this product strategy, we'll talk about what some product strategies might look like. And we want to understand what their overall product, what your overall recommendation is for their product strategy. We want to look at new product categories, of course, with justifications. We want to look at product additions with the prices for those additions, product deletions with prices, product modifications with prices. So we want to say, okay, so here's their current menu. What is their current menu going to look like in the future? What are our recommendations for changing their menu? And that is, what products are we going to add, which products are we going to delete, and which products are we going to modify over time. You'll notice that a lot of the points for this whole project are located in the product recommendations. So we want to take some time and some thought and of course have solid justifications for each of the decisions that we'll be making here. We're also going to be making positioning recommendations. Of course, we're probably going to want to reposition them, or at least more clearly focus on creating the position that they need to have moving forward, with a new positioning statement, and then an identification of specific activities to accomplish the repositioning. And we'll spend some time talking about that. Also, branding recommendations. As you can see here with their logo right now, there is some positive things about that logo. There are some negative things about that logo, but we want to take a look at the Chicken Shack branding activities. Think about additions, deletions, and modifications, and specific activities to accomplish the repositioning, but also perhaps some rebranding. And then, of course, we're going to add target markets and forecasts. So if we add new products, we want to know how we want to have estimates on how successful the new products will be, with target markets, future size of the markets and growth rate, and the estimated number of customers and revenues for the Chicken Shack for the next 3 years. And then finally, we will have a summary where this plan should put the Chicken Shack in 3 years, and then pro forma income statements for them to get to that 4-year window of 100% increases in revenues. So that's the project, and my recommendation is for us to get started on that as soon as possible. After you watch this video, go up and find the project file. You'll notice that I have some stuff in it now. I, of course, will be adding stuff to it over time. Good luck with the project. Remember, this is a significant part of your grade, so let's get started on it as soon as possible. We will, of course, want to spend some time discussing the project on Thursday. And remember, we have an exam on Friday.